It is live now. Vinay, please start.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to the Consciously Positive evening edition of the program that we are all here together. We are all gathered over here to listen to another edition of Consciously Positive. Today we are going to talk about something really powerful, which is very close to my mind, just close to my heart as well, and which I practice it very consistently. And today I'm going to share. My name is Vinay Babbar, and I'm a business coach and consultant. And I've been working with various organizations to help their businesses grow to the next level. Today, we're going to talk about a topic called chaos to creation. Most of us who know me already, they understand that I operate from a space of mindfulness. And then what exactly is mindfulness? Mindfulness is about facing and encountering and conquering rather than avoiding or going to a very different zone and not facing the situation and not taking responsibility. Now, today, I'm going to use the same framework of mindfulness to talk about chaos to creation. Most of us have been facing the word called chaos. Chaos is something which is there with us at all levels. हमें लगता है कि chaos जो होता है वो हर जगह पे होता है हमारे साथ. Whether it is a chaos on the road, when there is a traffic jam over here, when there is a chaos about what's happening around these days, that we have a chaos that we see around about what has been happened after the Pahalgam attack. And so there's a chaos everywhere, and there's a chaos all the time that we are facing each and every moment. Now, how to face that chaos and how to deal with the chaos? There are two ways to deal with the chaos. One way is to avoid it. It's not something that I would really need. That I mean, there is a chaos around. Let me avoid it and then see what happens. The second way is to deal with this. And rather, this is the third way to deal with this. The second way is to fight for it. And I don't want chaos. I want peace and I want harmony. I don't want this and I want that. That is the second way to deal with the chaos. The third way to deal with the chaos is to second third way is to deal with the chaos. What exactly is chaos? Let's face it. Let's understand it. What exactly is chaos all about? And today I'm going to talk about the third dimension, which is dealing with the chaos rather than avoiding or fighting with the chaos. But before that, I invite every participant over here to just highlight and just check out what exactly is the chaos right now that we are facing inside us. I mean, inside us and also outside us. So what exactly are the chaos? What exactly is the chaos that we are facing right now? So, for example, if you ask me, there is a huge chaos right now today. That I was struggling with the traffic jam, and I had a huge discussion with the banking system. Things didn't work out the way I would have wanted it to work out. There has been a lot of chaos with respect to what I expected during the day to happen. It didn't happen. So overall, uh, I had been facing the chaos consistently. At the same time, I also chose to deal with the chaos. Now, when I say that I dealt with the chaos, how I dealt with the chaos is more important for us to understand. Now, when we are in the state of mindfulness, we are dealing with the situation rather than avoiding it or fighting it. We are confronting with the situation, confronting with uh, the situation rather than avoiding it or fighting. Now, there is a thin line between confronting and fighting. A lot of people confuse confronting with fighting, and then they easily say, "I want to avoid this argument. I want to avoid this argument because this is no worth it. I want to avoid the debate. I would like myself to get into a discussion rather than a debate because there is a very thin line of you being in a debate or discussion or chaos or conflict with facing and dealing with this. Now, more you face the situation, more you are in this mode to handle it and confront it and conquer it. Now, choice is ours whether to conquer the situation or whether to avoid it or fight with it. Today, what I did was I actually chose to conquer the situation, I chose to deal with the situation. It's like, having an eye to eye with those kind of chaos. Today, despite of all the chaos, when I was asked to lead this session today or take up the session today, I was thinking that, oh, come on, there's another thing just come up. So, oh, yeah, already I'm dealing with so many things. On 7 at 7 p.m., one of the coordinators called me and said, to have to take the session now. And I could easily say no because I was already had a justification in my mind that I'm dealing with so many things. So I can easily say no. But then I thought that, when I am in the session, there are two things that are happening. One is I am pursuing what I love to do. Second is second is I also get a solution within the session when I take. Because more I speak up, more I talk about, more I hear about what I'm speaking. So that's the opportunity for me inside that chaos. Now that's exactly happens with you or with everyone. Whenever there is a chaos, whenever there is a conflicting situation, whenever there is a challenge, you have an opportunity to create something very extraordinary. But the condition is you got to deal with the chaos. You got to deal with the situation. You cannot say, I don't like debate, I don't like argument, I don't like to see what is happening around. You cannot close your eyes, you cannot blind your eyes to what is happening around. You got to deal with the situation. That's how you can conquer it, and that's how you can create something from that. If you are on that zone that yes, you want to create something from chaos, today is the session that you will get some tools. I'm going to share a few tools which you can probably use it to, which I also use it personally, which can make you grow from the situation. कहते हैं ना कि there are two kinds of people. One is who avoid stones, one who make those stones as stepping stones in their life. So today, my invitation to you, whoever are listening here on a Facebook or a live session, is to is to deal with the with so-called chaos, so that the chaos is not remain. Chaos is not the word that will remain in your dictionary from now onwards. If you really understand the session today, you know that I have only 15, 25 minutes, 25 minutes to talk about it, but you will get a little bit of idea the next 10 to 15 minutes of how to deal with the situation. Now, what are the steps to deal with the chaos or the circumstances or the conflicting situations or something that you don't like about it? How to deal with that? The first and most important part is A. That is A in the acronym part. A is acknowledge it. Now, once you acknowledge, yes, there is a chaos. Now, where exactly is the chaos? Where exactly is the problem? Whether it is your physical problem, whether it is your social problem or a mental problem or a financial issue, whether it is anything which is related to your life and something is happening around, the first and foremost part is the A part, which is called acknowledge it. Okay, yes, it has come to me. I got to face it. It's okay that yes, it has come to me. Acknowledging it. Now, why I'm saying that acknowledging is important, because most of the chaos that is happening around, we hardly give any attention to those kind of chaos. And we somehow try and believe, okay, अपने आप ही खत्म हो जाएगा ये chaos. मुझे बात ही नहीं करनी, मुझे सोचना है. There are people who just go ahead and fight with the chaos. So I'm not asking you to either fight it or go away. I'm asking you to first and foremost acknowledge, yes, there is something that has come up for me. And now I got to deal with this, acknowledging it. And the second step is to allow it to come to you. Now you will say, okay, why the hell I'm going to allow it to come? Chaos is something which is not required. It is such a negative connotation for me. Why should I, accept it and allow it to come to me? But even if you don't accept or allow it, that is round the corner for you, right? So how you going to deal with this is first acknowledge it, second accept and allow it to come to you. Now, example. Today I had to go to some place where I had to deal with a situation wherein there was a banking system. There was a banking system which was wanting me to update my KYC, and the banking system was not allowing me to, do the KYC KYC update in the proper way, because there was some flaw in the system, and I was consistently, submitting this document and that document, and there was a flaw there, and the person who was sitting at the banking counter was consistently asking me, bring this, and bring this. And there was a huge chaos around because I had to update my KYC, I had to withdraw some amount, I had to give that amount to someone, and there was something which was there running on my head. But there was a huge chaos around because there were person who was there who was working on the system, things were not happening the way it would have happened. And there were a lot of people who were waiting in the queue and things were not happening and everything was getting delayed. And I was also feeling sort of irritated. Okay, why this is happening to me? So there was a chaos. I was in the midst of a chaos. I had to fulfill a lot of responsibility for a lot of duties at a particular place. Someone was waiting for me. So there was a chaos. Well, the first thing I could have gotten frustrated and I could have left the banking counter and I would have left everything and I would have, blamed the system and, you know, come back. So, but instead, what I did was at that point in time that I acknowledged, okay, fine, chaos has happened. That's okay. Let me allow it to come to me. That's fine. The second thing that I did was probably what opened up for me after that, after I allowed it to happen. I started getting some ideas of how to deal with the situation. So I had two choices: whether to leave that place and leave the things unattended, and second thing was to deal with this. So I acknowledged it and allowed it to happen. And few ideas came to my mind that this is the second best way that I can do something. I picked up a phone call and I called up a few people to arrange for some funds. That was the first idea that I got. I I picked up a phone call to my dad who had some documents with him, and I asked him to send those documents on my phone so that I can give it to the banking counter, which uh, they were like very hard. They were feeling very hard to just check it out. And I had request, and then I went down to the system. Then I requested him that should I send it on the email so that things go on a very different time tangent. And everybody's around was very surprised the way I was cool and calm at that point in time. And then the moment I did those actions, I saw there was a serenity around. The people who were standing in the queue, getting irritated, they were also peaceful and they were also happy. The way I did every task very patient. So that was the first outcome that happened, that I created some peace around, which probably at that moment in time was not possible because there was so much of chaos and everybody could get irritated of things that were not happening. And then the person said, okay, ठीक है, send the documents on the email and we will check it out. I got a call from someone that funds have got arranged, and I not only that got arranged, but also those funds were to be handed over to someone. Then those funds were also handed over to someone. Now, of course, that was not something that I would have liked it. I would have wanted things to happen as per my way, but it happened as per the situation, and I accepted and allowed the way it had happened. And the moment those things got happened, then I next went to that person who was waiting for me at my house. I dealt with that. I apologized. I requested him that can we have a longer session, because he came to me for the session, and then I requested him that can we have a longer session after we take some breather, we have a cup of tea and we relax. So he accepted, okay, fine, we have time, we can do that. So that also got opened up. So earlier on, the first and foremost reaction was, I could have said no to that person who was waiting for me. I could have no to this, I could have done no to the session because there were no possibilities which were there for me. But the moment I accepted and allowed it to happen, a lot of possibilities came my way. Now this can be possible at any place. I mean, I know this could be a very smallest of thing, but that was a beginning point of me to get into a creation mode. That is the second part, where the second thing is that after A accepting and allow it to, then you do the second part, you create it. You create something, you take an intention that yes, this is something that I want to create. And the moment you set up an intention, you basically set up a stone to create something. So from that incident, I set up an intention that whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to do it from the space of happiness and joy. I would not get irritated. I would not be I would not be someone who is frustrated. I would be doing everything from the space of joy and happiness. And that was about 2:30 p.m. at that point in time. And right now it is about 8:20 p.m. And I could maintain my peace and calm, and I could do many tasks after that, which on a normal day would not have happened. So I created something from that chaos. Now, the most important part is after you create something out of you set up an intention that you this is who you want to be in that situation, then you got to take an action. Now, what is that action? Take an action means what is that action? So there are a lot of possibilities that will be around. A lot of possibilities that you can explore it. You got to take one action, even if it looks very illogical for you. But there is something which is available for you, something that you got to take an action to. Don't sit, just take an action on anything. That is how you close the loop of creation. If you don't take an action at that point in time, you don't close the loop of creation. So the action needs to be taken, whether there is an action of recording what you created after accepting and allowing and then creating, or you probably pick up a phone call and do something, or probably you can make some notes around it, or you just go out for a stroll, and or probably you go out for a good feed for yourself. So taking an action is very important so that you can close the loop of what you allowed, accepted, and created out of intention, and then taking an action around. So that is what about the acronym called ACT. Whenever there is a chaos that happens to you, that you experience, but whenever you experience a chaos, the first and foremost is to accept it, allow it to happen. C is to create it, and T is to take an action. So that is the ACT acronym that you have seen. Now, my next conversation is all about what happens when you take an action. What happens when you create something around it. So now, the most important part of any action is to make it a routine or make it a habit. Now, how do you make an habit is by repeating it consistently. Now, how can you repeat it consistently? By giving an anchor to your mind that judgment is something that I'm going to drop that judgment, that something bad is happening. Now, that is the anchor that you can probably start giving it to you. That's how you can repeat these actions again and again. So there will be some time or some space when you keep on repeating the actions that you will find out that you are in the space of such serenity that when you say chaos has come up, you will celebrate, okay, thanks that chaos has come up. So this is going to open up a new world of possibility for me. This is going to help me create something which was not possible for me, which was not available for me, or probably which was not very thoughtful about myself, thoughtful about what I could do. So whenever a chaos comes up, the first and foremost thing that you got to remember is to act on it. You know the ACT. ACT is acronym of allowing it, accepting it, creating it with intention, and then T for taking an action. That is the first and foremost thing. So chaos is an opportunity for you to take a next step, take a leap. Now there is another paradox to it. Chaos does not come to anyone who don't want to improve, who won't want to improve, who see, okay, I'm in my comfort zone. I'm doing what I'm doing, and there is no possibility of an intention that I'm going to grow in my life. So whenever you have put an intention, maybe you want to manifest something, manifest money or health. So whatever you got manifesting in your life, remember one thing: the chaos is bound to happen because there is something new that is going to emerge after the chaos. Human beings are programmed to live in a comfort zone. They would never ever create it, and they will never ever see it. The subconscious mind will never ever see that a creation is on the cards. That is possible only and only when there is a chaos around and human beings are forced to take an action. So only in my only invitation to you is instead of avoiding it, instead of putting it in the carpet, or instead of fighting with it or getting frustrated about it, take an action of acting the chaos. Because chaos is nothing but a creation which is there for you, which is there on the cards for you. You have been intending, you have been praying for good health, you have been praying for wealth, you have been praying for relationships. So if those things are to get manifested, that, remember that this is a chaos that has, remember the chaos has come only and only for you to grow. All right. So this is all about chaos to creation. If anybody has any questions or anything that you want to share, please come up and we will talk more on that, and then we will end this session. Anybody has to share about anything, anybody wants to talk about chaos to creation on what you have listened to you, me.
From okay, for the past 1 week, for the past for the past 1 week, Vinay,
Yes.
I was supposed to go for World Laughter Day. It didn't happen, but the stress, I was supposed to go for a physical one and also conduct the on. I ended up conducting the online one instead of the physical one. Being with the 6,000 children, I love that, and because of that, I didn't expect the stress to cause allergies on my neck. Now, where did it come from? I don't know, but it's just that uh I've been wearing the metal chain. I've been praying. I've been doing a lot of things to keep myself calm. But this particular chain I've been wearing for so many years, and now it decides to decides to uh give a take a toll on my neck. Um, I have broken one chain, and my father bought me a new one. I have actually prayed for my good health, and all my medical results are clear. Everything is clear. I'm wondering, uh, by the siblings not talking to me properly, or by the siblings refusing to buy me a tablet, it's just taken a toll on me.
Okay.
It- It's just taken a toll on me. I'm going to. I've been detaching my. It's not that I don't love them, but I've been detaching myself from them because I don't want to carry their problems on my head.
Okay.
And my mom is already challenge free. You know, so my mom's already challenge free today. She's in perfect health. I'm praying for her health as well. But why the rashes happened to me, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah. So I don't know why. The rashes have caused insecurities in my life for the past 1 week.
Hmm.
When I'm a very happy person, I'm a very jovial person, suddenly I feeling that I'm turning 40, and it's like a wake up call or something. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you are absolutely right. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. So we pray for our growth, we pray for our betterment, we pray for our involvement, And then when something turns up, we say, why it has happened to me?
Yeah.
However, when you allow it to happen, that is the first thing. And then, take a creative action to that. When you
Yes.
allow it to happen, instead of resisting it, instead of avoiding it, you're allowing it. And when you allow it to happen, when there is an acceptance around, you find out something to create. I don't know what is going to come up with something to create.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe there is something that you have to take an action on which you have not been taking an action on earlier. So a new possibility is going to come up.
Yeah.
You've been talking about laughter, but laughter also has come for you when you have allowed something to happen in your life and you have prayed for it, and then laughter has come. Maybe something else is going to come up now. You don't know. After laughter, maybe something else is going to come up for you. So whatever you're praying for, you get little small or big chaos only and only for a new creation to happen and to come to you. Thank you for sharing so
Yeah, yeah.
tolerably. Thank you, sir. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So I will let go and let leave and let it be.
You can just put an anchor to it, dropping your judgment. I
Yeah.
so anchor could be I drop my judgment, right? I drop my
No,
judgment
I
towards the
I
event.
don't judge anybody. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like that.
Yes,
So
good. Thank you.
thank
That's good, dude. I mean, I'm just saying, not judging anyone, but judging the event, okay, whether it is good or bad. So whatever is to happen is happening because we had prayed for it. We had intended for it, maybe unconsciously or consciously. So thank you very much for sharing that. Anybody else would like to share? I also already had got one share on the chat, which says chaos allows for butterflies in the tummy. A
yeah.
delight in getting them to flying
I do
forward.
have
Or
butterflies in the
do better
stomach.
understanding of my responses towards the events. Yes, it does happen. When you allow it to happen, you have a better response to the event rather than getting irritated. Thank you so much for sharing that.
So you relax, ease your mind, ease your thought, take care, when you're ready, take a picture. Because every time you promise me, second, you come out of the room expecting to see, but you're not at ease. So you're not at ease, don't make the promise. Because I already made. I already showed you.
Who's this? Yeah. So anybody like to share? Anybody else like to share? Anybody else would like to share anything? Yeah, I think you're on mute, ma'am. Yeah.
Good evening, Vinay. Good evening, everyone. So that was a very beautiful way of turning chaos into creation. Very good example of it. Thank you so much for turning our chaos into creation today.
Yes, yes. Because
But
everything
yes,
happens.
Rajin was saying no, that it becomes difficult to have that patience to wait for that chaos to finish and for the creation to start. So that is what
Exactly.
we need to learn.
Exactly. Agree with you, Vinu.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what exactly the acronym stands for. Allow it to happen. I know, you got to have develop that patience. Maybe you got to learn that patience. The word called patience. I mean, in today's event at the bank, I completely realized that this is one good area that I like really want to work on, which is called patience, and I'm very happy that I could do it. So patience is another thing which is required at every moment, so that when you have that chaos around, you basically are also inviting that patience as a quality for you to have. Yes, yes. Please continue, ma'am. I am sorry I interrupted you.
No, 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 perfectly. That was what it was all about. That we need to develop that patience, practice that.
Yeah, practicing is required. More we practice, more we get an opportunity.
Anyone else would like to? Yes, Geeta.
Yeah. So, hi Vinay. So it's
I,
an acknowledgement, like it's a reminder call, and whenever there is a chaos, it's an opportunity to face the challenge and not giving up, and just face the challenge. And what will come out of it, you like sometimes we don't know our own strength, and during like once we accept that this is a challenge, now I need to accept and I need to work on it. So what comes out of it, even sometimes we don't know. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
it's an
We don't know how long we can fly until we explore our wings.
it's
Until we allow it to happen. We don't know how much we can fly, how long we can fly, and how big we can fly.
and thank
Thank
you
you.
for choosing this topic and accepting our request at the 11th hour.
Pleasure is mine. And it's always a good opportunity for me whenever I have to come to speak at the Consciously Positive platform. Because when I speak more, when I talk more, I also listen to the conversation myself. There's a learning for myself also. As I'm repeating more, I'm also learning more. So had I not shared that incident would not have gotten a kind of repetition. So repetition is also one of the key. More you repeat it in your mind and consistently do it, you allow chaos to sort it out very easily.
Yeah. So looking forward to have more sessions from you in
Yes.
upcoming weeks. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much,
Thank
Nuruji,
you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Daji.
The session. Thank you, everyone.